regret with your career, whether it's competitive or?
The biggest regret is for me using a synthol in my arms. That's.
Tell me why you did that.
Okay. Up until 97, I mean, I was told many times, oh, Milos, with the bigger arms, you would have a chance, right? And we were using Esiclen back in the day, but then, it was not available anymore.
Right?
Yeah. And then Kerry Case came 97 Olympia. If you remember, Flax was supposed to beat Dorian Yates, and then he pulled out of the show 2 weeks out. And Caddy was looking for him and didn't find him, so he said, Milos, can you please give this to Flex? Because he had to go back to England. And so there was like 12 bottles of something. I said, what is it? And he said, synthol, and you inject this in the small body parts. And I said, oh, wow, can I try? Can you get me some? I said, just take half. So, of course, I started, and then initially I was getting great results with that one. I don't want to say great results because I never want to encourage anybody to do it. I really hate. I think it's the
biggest mistake you made.
Biggest mistake, yeah. So, but I got my arms to 22.5 inches. Like, oh, shit, So I was but it changed the shape, anatomy, and then I ran out of that one. So somebody else gave me from South Africa, and that probably had some silicone in it. And then it just really, it was super hard to push anyway. And then I realized there was crystallization. It's fibrotic tissue, necrotic, and then you touched my arms and it was like, oh my God, it's dead to a door. So when you sell your soul to the devil, you get result, and then devil comes and claims it. So the bigger arms that I had for a year,
they looked ridiculous at one of the shows I saw. Like they would just look swollen,
like a bricks. I mean, it's embarrassing.
But it ruined your career. So that's why in 06, when you were going to come back and compete, now you already had damaged the arms at this point. So you were a little concerned about that.
Yeah, it would be visible, but by 2006, kind of, I could pull it off. Specifically posing if I put the forearm close to the biceps, not away. To 99 and Night of the Champions, it looked ridiculous.
I don't think anyone really uses it at the top level.
Nowadays, every time when I coach somebody, I tell them, you have to give me your previous diet, previous cycle, what you're doing right now. And many still like to use it.
I'm shocked. I mean, because people ask me about it, and I'm like, dude, no one uses that. Like Ronnie and I, we never met. Like that wasn't needed, right? I mean, if you had... Like I was always like I wanted to have the stripe, like this. I have a split still in my biceps. Obviously this one's torn a little bit, but like that was the whole thing. It's like I wanted to have arms like Robbie Robinson and the bicep peaks.
Ronnie Coleman too. I mean, he had a crazy bicep. Yeah. But
so it never made sense to me. And I know there was pump and pose and all these other things, but
they would give you that story binds to the fiber. I mean. It's not pharmaceutical, it's something made in a lab, and this Chris Clark from Germany. I mean, he contacted me back in that day and gave me all these stories. How tell me what I want to hear. Oh, it's going to make it bigger? Oh, yeah, it's good. Okay, let me use it without really analyzing and dissecting it.
And what do you think causes distension with the bodybuilders?
With
the distended stomachs?
Distended stomachs, well, GH, extensive GH could.
Listen, I'll be honest. I mean, I used
16 units
everything there was, but I never had it.
Yeah.
I mean, 99, I had it a little bit, but do you think the lack of I think my theory is I train twice a day. A lot of the guys train twice, and I feel a lot of those guys had flat stomachs. Like they trained more. I think guys nowadays, they don't train as much. They just don't. And they just eat. Is it overeating? Is it
overeating?
I disagree with you that it's the GH and the drugs.
I mean, GH causes the growth of organs. So
but how much do you have to take, Milos?
I mean, look, even Flex Wheeler being in Germany at that one time, he had to pull it off, and they put him in the hospital, and they said like, oh, you understand your liver, your kidneys, your heart.
See, I didn't know that story. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it is growth hormone. It does cause that, but.
Certain guys don't have any at all.
Is it genetics?
A ton of growth.
Yeah. I mean, you're a perfect example, and you know, I wish I could say that I have the answer. You know, they accuse me of ruining the sport because I brought the insulin, and insulin makes this kind of. I used insulin since '93 until 2003, and I didn't have a distended, right? So, like you say, you don't agree that the GH would do it.
Yeah, I don't think it's insulin either. I think it's.
either.
I think it's
A combination
it's a
of the two,
combination of genetics, and
Eating
overeating.
too much, overeating. Yeah, it's quite possible. Yeah.
People not training their midsections, right? I feel like I'll be honest, like when I watched Battle of the Olympias and Up and Coming, I mean that Mike Quinn might have called you an ironing boy with abs, but I always watched how you trained your abs, and what I noticed, you did a lot of hanging leg raises, right? Because I feel that like that
stretches. And
the stretching, it's going to keep that flat.
Yeah.
Right. If you think about the pose, right, I try to mimic the poses with the training, right?
Yeah.
So I would like actually hang off a bench when I did my crunches and hook my heels to a bench, and I would do crunches that way. So it actually expanded. It pulled my.
Yeah. So that's what I always say to Regan and everybody. You stretch and make that the gap.
Just contract,
between,
right? Yeah.
And then that keeps your stomach flat, and it makes it deeper. And I mean, you know that was your pose against Ronnie, right? So you have to always capitalize. Even standing relaxed, your abs were always super deep. Yeah, but